Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have this 2022 Nissan Rogue and we're going to do the Taillight Tint installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before the installation. It's just your regular default lenses, and this is how it looks after the installation. So the tint has PPF properties, which means it will protect the lenses from yellowing over time, as well as protect it from any small scratches or any road debris that might hit the lens. If you like the product, link for the product will be down in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So the tools you need in order to install the tint kit will be Slip Solution, Tack Solution, a heat gun, squeegee, and a microfiber towel. And a step-by-step guide in order to create the two solutions will be in the description below. So before starting the installation, we want to make sure we prep the lens. So to prep it, just apply Slip Solution onto the lens. And with your microfiber towel, start removing any contaminants that the lens might have. Okay, so we're going to start off with installing this piece on the trunk. So to start, just apply Slip Solution onto the lens and Slip Solution onto the tint as well. And with this one, you want to start by aligning the film to the edge of the tail light here. So make sure you align it to this edge. Make sure it's aligned here and also going on the top of the tail light here. Once you have this section aligned, you start tacking it down. So to tack it down, just lift the film and apply Tack Solution. Hold it in position with one hand, and then with the other one just start squeegeeing to tack it down to this section here. Okay, so once we finish tacking down this section, the next thing is to stretch, and while we're stretching, we make sure that it's aligned on this section here, and also this part of the tint, we need to match it to the edge of the tail light here. So in order to stretch the film, apply Slip Solution, place it down, and stretch upward until you meet the edge of the film there. And make sure everything is still aligned here, and it reaches the edge here. Now we can start tacking it down. So make sure when you're tacking down, you remove all of the water bubbles behind the film. And then right here, you are going to have a little bit of material. This material you could tuck in inside the tail light here. To tuck in, we're going to need to apply Tack Solution, a little bit of heat, just to help the film tuck in inside here on the tail light. So Tack Solution, and with your heat gun, start going across here to tack this section down. So just make sure this whole section is tacked down, and then just make sure you remove any water bubbles. Once we have this section secured, now we can move on with the next installation, which is for this one. Okay, so now we're moving on to the side tail light. So with this one, we're going to start by installing the bottom half of the tail light first, and then after we're finished installing this section, we'll move on and installing the top one. So for this one, same steps, apply Slip Solution onto the tail light and Slip Solution to the tint. And it's just making sure you align this side of the film to the edge of the tail light here, and also making sure you align it on the bottom half here. So once you have it aligned, you just repeat the steps, apply Tack Solution so we can secure it, and then once we finish securing it, we're going to stretch it to meet to this edge. So just tack this section down, make sure you don't leave any solution behind the film. And now that this section is secured, now we can move on here. So all you need to do here is a light stretch. So with one hand, just stretch it until the film meets the edge here, and make sure it's just aligned on this section here and also the bottom half here. So just do a light stretch, hold it in place, align it, and then tack it down. Okay, so now that we secured the film to the tail light, all we need to do now is just remove any small fingers that we have, and also making sure we seal the top edge, because we are going to install the top piece on the tail light here, and the top piece does overlap on this section of the tint that we just installed. So we need to make sure we remove all of the solution that's underneath here, make sure we seal it, that it doesn't lift. That way we're able to apply the top piece and overlap it to this bottom film. So to remove the fingers and to seal the top section, all we need is Tack Solution, or a squeegee, a microfiber towel, and a heat gun to finish this install on the bottom half. So apply Tack Solution, and when you're squeegeeing the fingers, squeegee at an angle. And also while you're removing them, make sure you don't leave any water bubbles behind. And now that we remove all the fingers we had here, now we could focus on sealing the top half here. So just start tacking down this top section. And to make sure it doesn't lift, now we can apply heat with Tack Solution. Okay, so before we move on, like I said, we need to make sure that this section is tacked down and it's not lifting. So once you pass your finger and see that the film isn't lifting, then we can continue and installing the last piece, which is this top half here. So now we move on to this last piece here. So just apply slip solution. That way we're able to align the film and just align it right on the edge. Start by following this top edge first, align it here, and then just follow up with the rest of the tail light so everything should align perfectly. So like that. And like I said, the film is going to overlap the bottom half just a little bit. So right here it should be fine, just as long as everything's aligned. And now that we have it aligned, lift the film just a bit and apply tack solution, hold it in place and tack it down. Okay, and now that we have this section tacked down, we're just going to do the same thing we did for the bottom half. It's just aligning it and stretching it just a little bit to meet this edge here. So do a light stretch, make sure it's aligned right there on the edge, and then just tack it down. And just make sure while you're squeegeeing, you remove all of the solution behind the film. And now the last thing, once we finish installing this whole set, is just post heating. So just make sure before we add heat and seal the film, there's no solution behind the film. So clean it, check for any water bubbles. If you see that there's none, now we can move on with post heating. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is just post heat. So what post heating does is it helps the adhesive on the film activate faster to the panel that you worked on, and also prevents it from lifting over time. So to post heat, just apply tack solution. And make sure you apply tack solution also where you overlap the film. And then with your microfiber towel and a heat gun, start going all around to help the film seal the film to the taillights. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the taillight tints for the 2022 Nissan Rogue. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.